down.
I got your live.
She's already. Woo-wee. She's already hit live. Go live. Are we live over there?
We've been live.
I can't see me over there. I can't. Weatherman, tune it down, everybody. We go live at 1 o'clock. We're on here a little early, but look, we're doing some new stuff. Got a share from Good Time Tommy on to Thomas C. Davidson. Weatherman, we need more people. Cousin Charlie, we've been worried sick about you, friend.
Hey, but he's here now. He drove 9,000 miles an hour. Cousin Charlie, thank you for the treat. Cousin Charlie's he's a treat getter. You know what he got me? A sneaker says ferocious. See that? That's what I am in the sales market. Ferocious. This is what I get with my host. He don't pay no attention to you.
Are you here?
You're live on Instagram.
So we're live. I'm wondering.
Hey, we're gonna talk about pools. Hey, to my sweetie at home watching. My number one fan.
Lady friend.
My lady friend,
right,
my pool buddy.
All right. Hey, everybody. Did you share it?
I shared it.
I shared it.
So did you share it from the Good Time Tommy?
Yes.
All right. It's almost 1 o'clock. You know what that means?
Time for my show.
We have one viewer.
That's me.
Well, see this the Good Time Tommy. We got to build this
we
up.
got three. We got cousin
Well,
Charlie.
the three, cousin Charlie. It's us. I hope everybody can see us. Are we having a good time? I mean, are we having a hard time?
Shouldn't we share it from the Tommy?
No, we need to share it from Good Time Tommy.
Yeah, we do share it. Okay.
Well, we're about to go live. We're
Yeah.
about to get this started. Okay, so it's almost.
Pop up. It'll pop up.
It's
We
on.
got up to 4. We're going.
All right, here we go. All right, the boost unavailable. All right, we're just now figuring this out. All right, guys. Every Wednesday, me and AKA the Weatherman do Real Estate 101. My name is Tommy Davidson. I prefer to go by Good Time Tommy or just GTT. I'm on a mission. I want 131,000 people in Murfreesboro to know me, know my story, know my past. Every Wednesday, 1 o'clock, we bring you a show about Murfreesboro, Tennessee real estate. We want to be known as the #1 digital host for real estate content. We like to make it funny. We like to make it interesting. We call it edutainment, kind of like pro wrestling.
I think we got a shot at an Oscar this year.
Man, well, hey, we're up for it. So we always like to come up with cool contests, but before we get started every Wednesday, Real Estate 101 announces a sponsor. And my sidekick, a.k.a. the Weatherman, is the man that does it. And I cannot do it without you.
You said that right. So, hey, this week is our nerd friend. And the only reason we call him that is because this guy is super sharp, super classy, super friendly, and very, very good at his profession. Guys, a lot of times when you're looking for a property management, it is very crucial that you get somebody that knows what they're doing, you get somebody that has a good team, you get somebody that has everything that you possibly need to take the headache off of you. So this week our sponsor, who we truly appreciate, is Scott Abernathy and the whole crew at PMI. And guys, he has several houses, so he's very, very good. He's probably known in the nation as one of the best property managers in the United States. So guys, we ask you, we'll share his link on here somehow, that if you're a landlord and you don't like dealing with the tenants, give this guy a call. He'll take that ease of mind. But most of all, you'll be really, really impressed of how good he is at his craft. So Scott, we want to thank you personally from our whole team here. You're a big contributor, and we want to contribute back to you.
Weatherman, you were good. We did good. Get a Snickers. Also, before I get started, every week we ask for you to hit like, also add the new feature. Please like the Good Time Tommy page. We're doing this from Good Time Tommy. I'd really appreciate it if you'll like that Good Time Tommy page. Comment, throw some love at us. Also, if you share this stream, if you share our stream, we will go back, pick one winner for a gift card to the Alley on Main. It's a $15 value.
What's the best meal there?
Chicken Parmesan. Chicken Parmesan, John. What do you think it is?
It's the Weatherman Chicken Parmesan. And whether he likes it or not, I'm going to have a day that it's going to be the Weatherman Chicken Parmesan Day. I'm working on it.
Hey, are we still going? I can't tell.
Yeah, we're going.
Yes, you've got 14 viewers.
All right.
And Shawan Weathers is blowing kisses.
Hey,
For some reason, I get a little bit I get rattled whenever we get on here and my internet's going slow. I hope it's not going there. Cousin Charlie, get in here so we can get started. Okay, here's the question we're going to pose. We like to make it interesting.
Interesting.
Interesting. Edutainment, as my coach Michael Bird calls it. Is it a good investment to have a cement pond?
Heck yeah.
Swimming pools, movie stars. Should you invest in a swimming pool?
Absolutely.
Most of the people out there are going to tell you it's not a good investment. As a matter of fact, me and the weatherman had an appraisal come back in where the appraiser gave a certain amount for the pool. He gave $5,000. How much do you think that pool was worth?
50.
Was it that nice?
That's what it would cost to put that pool in today. $40,000 to $50,000.
Okay, so the average swimming pool is about $50,000, and that's a pretty decent.
Yeah, it's had a diving board, 8 foot, concrete around it, salt water.
Did you jump in?
I wanted to, but I got a pool. I didn't need to.
Okay, so people, if you're watching this, why would you not want a swimming pool? I want to know, why would you not want a swimming pool? I think they're only looking at it usually from a cost. They're only looking at it from a liability standpoint. Right. They're not looking at what that pool could do in terms of life experiences.
Yes, I can give some. Anytime you want me to give pros, because
okay.
I don't have any cons to a pool.
Hey, I see you're on here, Mama. I love you. Thanks for getting in here. I hope you shared the stream. Okay, so here's what we're going to do.
Hey, Big Nate.
I want to present this. I want to ask Weatherman questions because he has a swimming pool.
I do.
How long have you had your pool?
I've had a pool 5 years.
How good of an investment has it been?
It's been the best investment as far as for my house, for my family. And my wife. And my wife is a tan. She loves laying by the pool.
Pretty. She's pretty too.
She's pretty. She's very pretty. A lot prettier than I am. But you know, the one great thing that it does is it keeps your kids at home. And nowadays, it's very important to me that I would rather my kids be at my house with their friends than my kids be at somebody else's house.
So you could say this is a way of you're helping raise the family.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It keeps you connected. In a lot of our country today, we have become very disconnected. Birthday girl, what you doing?
Watching the show.
You want to come in here and say hi?
No, I just had a really big hairy question.
What is it?
Yes.
You're on live, but it don't matter.
Go for it.
God,
Are there any chance that your people are watching?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we have a really good question for you.
Okay, let's hear it. We got a question.
Question from the audience.
If you have a seller, which you're representing the seller, you're getting their house under contract to sell. They're driving around at night. They find a property that they want to buy.
Mm-hmm.
However, the guy is just now putting the sign in the yard. It's for sale by owner. They stop and talk to him. He says, I got to take my son to school. I'll be right back and I'll show it to you. Their agent's nowhere to be found. He's not with them. They're driving around. So they go in, look at the house, decide they want it last night. Now today, they call said agent and say, we want you to represent us.
Yep.
Said agent is pretty much a newbie, hadn't been in the business a long time. Said agent doesn't think to say, did you happen to ask this seller for sale by owner? Did you happen to ask him, is he willing to pay a buyer's commission, buyer's agent commission? So now we're in a funny place where this agent could end up doing all the work for both the seller and the buyer.
Has a contract been presented?
No. No contract has been written as of yet. So
all right, so said agent, we won't say the name.
I'll say it.
No.
Oh, no, it's okay, I won't.
Don't embarrass him.
So what you need to do is go ahead and get a contract, and then you need to go present it to that seller.
With a compensation agreement.
If you don't have that in writing, and most for sale by owners today, they're willing to pay 3%. They know, hey, I'm probably going to have to pay 3%.
One other item, what the house is selling for, what he wants for the house, and what the buyers want to offer are, what, about $8,000 apart?
Hey.
And then you're going to add almost $8,000 more on in commission.
Yeah.
So how does he say anything?
That's what's so hard for a
about?
real estate agent is when they're representing a buyer or a seller and another party that's not represented, you're really working both sides.
Which I told him, he's going to end up doing the work for both sides.
Yeah.
Which he also
And you assume probably a lot of liability even for the other person that's
But
non-represented.
that's also a way you can sell yourself, because you can let them know that I'm going to be here for you as well. I'm going to make this easy on you. So now all you have to do is pay 3%. For you today, I'm gonna give you 3%, and I'm gonna help you with this.
But it's a divorce situation, which adds
Yes,
another thing.
yes, that makes it even tougher.
Even harder.
You can go ahead and solve the problem right now, sir. All you got to do is sign here and here.
Yeah.
And you will handle it all. You and our title company.
That's
will
right.
handle all his
That's right.
problems.
Hey, we'll get with you right after
Hey,
this show.
or you could just give it to me, and I can make it happen. And it's a learning
No.
experience.
All right, hey, let's get back on
I'm
track. Sorry,
just kidding.
we're
I'm
trying to
just kidding.
convince you to get a swimming pool
Get a
right
swimming
now.
pool.
So Weatherman, go back. You've had that pool 5 years.
5 years,
All right.
absolutely. And my wife has probably spent 4 years and 3 months and 8 days in it, and I tell you what it does. A lot of people think that, yeah, it's an expense, and I don't mind telling them, we probably got about $30,000 in ours. We did it ourselves. The money we have saved for hanging out in our pool and cooking out and being there on the weekends has probably in 5 years nearly paid for that pool. So even if I go to sell it and I only get $5,000 to $10,000, I've made it up by me not going out to Outback and to the movies. And if you have kids and you go to the arcade and the movies and Outback, we already know you're going to drop $250, $300. So the money I've saved by just staying at home and enjoying that pool, you'll probably end up paying for it in the long run.
Well, I think life is all about experiences, and this provides a great experience. It brings you guys together.
Yep.
So, doing
And you know the number one reason that we got a pool?
tell me, for the kids.
Because I love my wife and she wanted one.
Oh, Weatherman, we got so many people though. Looks like we got some people. Hey, I need Charlie. I need you to pay attention and fire. We got questions. My connection is just terrible right now.
That's
So-
right.
so-
Mark Gunner said self-sustaining playground. That's exactly right. It keeps your kids, it keeps them active at home because they want to be there where they can have fun instead of going over to Tommy's house where all you got in the back is a tire swing. So they'd much
And a
rather
pit
be at
bull-
my house
and a
with a
pit bull
pool
on a chain.
instead of a tire swing. So that's why they come over to our house.
Okay, so here's what I believe if you're gonna move probably within 5 years, you really need to be cautious. But let's just say if you got $50,000 invested in your swimming pool and you're going to be there 6 years, that's roughly $8,300 per year.
Right.
Okay, it comes down. I like to take things down to where it's at to the ridiculous. It's $22 per day to have a swimming pool. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Now, there's other costs, Todd. I see what you're saying. There is higher bills. There is all these things, but I'm gonna present something to challenge what you're saying, Todd. So, for $22 a day, now how many? That's over a calendar year of 365 days. Now in Murfreesboro, I feel like you can really be in your pool from April to October.
Absolutely.
When are you?
And if you can get it. If you got a heated pool, you can just about get in it 9-10 months out of the year. And I'm hot natured, so even as the pool gets down to about 80 degrees, once you jump in, you get that first initial woo. But then it feels great, you know.
So I'm gonna throw some things out why I think you should get a pool, and I want you to elaborate on it. Number 2, the benefits of stress relief.
Absolutely. You know, one of the biggest things I do if I've had a crazy day or a tough day is at nighttime. I love the pool at night. I love it. We have an LED light. It's nice outside with these big banana trees. We got rope lights around it. So at nighttime, I just get out there and float around, and it's just peaceful. I mean, it really, really is. And it kind of takes your mind off of the day. Now, my wife's in there with me too, so we enjoy it. And it's just a time to relax and take your mind off everything.
I believe that too often we negate the importance of health. And I really believe as we get older, stress will cost us more money.
Yes.
From our younger days.
Yes.
So you're not thinking about your maintenance on your body. A swimming pool will probably make you healthier.
Yep.
Hey, you're in great shape. People wouldn't know this, but Weatherman can swim fast.
Fast.
He's real
like
fast.
a dolphin.
Call him Moby Dick in that pool. I mean, he gets around there fast, real fast. So don't discount the benefits of stress relief. You're going to have, like right now, I go to a guy once a week that helps me with my stretching.
Yeah.
And it's like $110 a visit. But what I have decided...
Which is about how much a day? $18 a day?
I don't know.
So you could have a pool.
I probably could have a pool, but here's how I'm justifying this. I'm going to have serious problems with my mobility, my flexibility. If I don't go ahead and address this stuff, he said, man, you're really, because a lot of years I lifted heavy weights, strong, and it's caused me some problems. He told me the first day I went in there, he said, I don't want to scare you, but if you don't address some of these issues in your 50s, in your 60s, you're going to have some really, really bad problems. And whenever you're dealing with healthcare, that gets extremely expensive. Moving along, I believe, I used to go over to Coach Bert's house like every weekend in the summer. We'd sit around, I'd eat pizza, probably have a beer or 10 or whatever. But one of the things that always happened during this moment was it would become very inspirational. How often do you sit out by your pool and inspiration happens in inspirational settings?
If it's cool, I do it a lot. My wife actually does this more than I do. So there's something about, it's almost like an oasis, if that makes sense. It's very peaceful. We have a water fountain we can turn on sometimes, and just to sit out there, we can have music playing, but it really is very, very relaxing out there, and it kind of frees up your mind. It kind of just lets you just almost relax. So you can definitely have some great thoughts out there and come up with some great ideas, but I don't do it in 95-degree weather, but at nighttime, I definitely do it.
Hey, we ain't getting these questions or these comments. Kevin Lacey, I couldn't keep up with you. Mark Gunner, it's like being on vacation at home.
There you go.
Everybody should have a personal oasis.
Yes.
Whenever you're doing this, think about this. There might be times where you don't want to do something, but that having the commitment of paying for that pool, hey, you don't have to worry about that anymore. But just having that might help drive you, it might help push you to make more money. So the other thing, this is something, if we ever have a pool, one thing that I have firmly changed my opinion of is you can take a liability and turn it into an asset. So Todd Taylor, when you're talking about all those things where it was just saying it's a liability, I'm challenging that with this right here. I believe you can have events with clients, with friends, with communities, and you can find a way to monetize that swimming pool with the connections, the networks. Because the weatherman is probably one of the worst people you ever find about being productive within an office. And I think he owns that. Yeah. But what's crazy is the weatherman is a natural networker. He can go to a concert and come back with a listing. He can probably go to Hardee's and come back with somebody that's going to buy a house.
And a steak biscuit.
And a steak biscuit. So, hey, please share the stream, and please like Good Time Tommy, by the way. So, Weatherman, what do you think about that? Because I know you guys entertain. You have people over there.
All the time. As a matter of fact, tomorrow night we're having a cookout. My builder and his wife and probably my cousin. We'll have probably 10 people over there, and we're just going to sit around, float around, have a good time. And
okay, if you didn't have that swimming pool, would they come over there?
Probably not. We'd be at Camino Real. And there's nothing wrong with Camino Real. But you have about an hour and 15 minutes, and it's time to go, and then you leave. So we can actually sit there for 4 or 5 hours, get closer, get connected, talk about our kids, build a better relationship, and in turn, that builds more business.
That's exactly right, because a lot of Weatherman's business comes from his networks of people. He brings in his builder. He gets referrals. And Weatherman doesn't do a great job of asking referrals. Hey, I'm not dogging on you today. But Weatherman, he somehow positions himself to get referrals. I feel like you get more referrals than me, and it's probably, I'll say this, Tom Cribbs used to be he was one of the best people that I'd ever seen about taking his customers and getting so deep in these relationships where hey, you got to use Tom Cribbs.
Yeah.
You got to use, he had a boat, he had a lake house, so all these things that people are going to say, that is a liability, friend, do not do this. There's always a way you can bring your networks, your people, your family, and you can find a way to monetize it.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to tell you, I would be cautious about a pool. I'm going to give you a few reasons, because I'm not just saying go out there and buy something that maybe you shouldn't. Now, we do see this. Whenever you are buying a home, I appreciate the love, whoever's doing that.
Ashley Hopkins, good to see you on here. Shane Ray.
Hey, I appreciate that. The Big Kahuna. We don't call him Shane.
The
Ray,
Big Kahuna.
So you can't have problems with appraisals if we can't find a home that has a pool. So it's not as easy as just coming up with a cost approach value.
Right.
Whenever you sell your home, they're wanting to find homes that are similar.
Yeah.
So they're going to look for a similar type home, and then it needs to have a swimming pool. So if nobody near you in Evergreen Farms, if you put a swimming pool, I don't know if there's maybe one. I think I've seen maybe one swimming pool in Evergreen Farms. But if you live in Evergreen Farms and you put a swimming pool in there, that may not be something you should do.
No, the only reason you would do that is just firmly for you. It's just like the same way if you bought a brand new truck in 5 years, that $40,000 truck is going to be worth $10,000. It's the same similarity if it doesn't make sense with the property. So, in the event that you do buy a house with a pool, remember, most people don't sell their houses with pools. If you notice, that's why there's not a lot of them on the market.
I was looking for that. Do you believe that people, Roy Frazier, hey, our great insurance agent, he firmly believes when you invest a pool into your house, you probably stay there longer?
Absolutely. Because you don't want to leave, because this is what you think. I have a pool now. I had a pool, I had a above ground pool before we started there. I have an in-ground pool now. If we ever sell and go somewhere else, our first thing on our agenda is buying one with a pool or putting a pool in. I'll never have another house without a pool.
Really?
Absolutely.
See, so my mama, she's got a pool. She lives over in Regency Park, one of those big backyards. I love her setup. And I don't know if my mama would want to leave that pool. Joe, hey, that guy right there, Joe Rich. We got a question for you, Joe Rich.
Got a pool.
He just upgraded his pool. Would you ever live in another house again without a swimming pool?
Yes.
He really meant to say
Hey!
no. He's a builder. That's all. He's a builder. But
Now, he says that, but he lives in a house that he could definitely go out and build something bigger and live in it. But hey, he just remodeled that pool.
and he ain't going nowhere.
He ain't going nowhere. So I do believe you're right, Weatherman. If you've got a pool, unless you've just had such a bad experience.
Or unless you just really move up to the next level. But most people with pool will buy a house with another pool.
I agree.
The only time I ever hear people talking about they won't do another pool, and don't take this personal, above ground pools have it because of the liabilities and there's really no value there. And so sometimes you don't get pools that way. But I loved mine when we first had it. We just decided to go ahead and go with the in-ground one. And because we could. Most people can't, but every time that most people leave with a pool, their first thing on their objective is find me a house that has a pool.
Cousin Charlie, have we missed any questions? I'm holding you accountable to that.
Hey, I think y'all got room for a pool.
That'd be tough. So what?
Squeeze one in.
Brittany wants to know if you have room for a swimming pool.
There we go. See there?
Brittany Renee, our next house will have a pool, but I don't know if it's going to be where we're at. We may have to go find another place.
Or just put a gate next door and just walk over there when
We
you're not
could
home.
do that. Now, our next house, our next house will probably be in Florida. So that's what we're going to save our pool investment up for the Florida. So another reason why I would be cautious is if you're planning on moving in 5 years.
Yeah.
If you're going to put a pool in and you're like, we're not going to be here very long, that may cause you to doubt whether you should do this. But it's like Weatherman said, you're doing this for your own personal enjoyment.
It's like granite, if you think about it. Granite doesn't get you a lot of value for a home, but you do it because it makes your home prettier. And it's kind of the same kind of philosophy. Hardwood. I mean, it gets you a little bit of money, but I guarantee they're not going to give you the amount it costs you to put hardwood in your house.
And that's hard to justify, Weatherman. That is a good point. Granite does make it prettier, which will make it more desirable. A swimming pool, we're usually going to say an appraiser's only going to give it $5,000 or maybe $5,000 to $10,000. I think the rule of thumb is you get about a third back of what you put into it. But I definitely think a pool can create a wow factor to where people would overpay for your property. Now, if you just got a very basic swimming pool out there, maybe it won't. But I think a swimming pool really helps play on people's emotions, especially in the warmer months.
Yeah, because most people think if I'm gonna put a pool in, it's gonna cost me $50,000. I'm getting this one for $15,000. Really? Yeah, let's do it because I don't want to have to pay $50,000. I'm saving $35,000 for a pool, and that's how people really have that wow factor. Wow, I'm about to get this house with a pool, and their kids are freaking going nuts.
That's right.
They're already inviting their friends over, and it's sold.
Sell your pool. If you're going to sell a home, sell it during the pool season.
Absolutely.
Don't sell that thing with it covered up, because people buy with their emotions. They feel a certain way when they see it. That's why offering a carpet allowance or a painting allowance, it does not hit their emotions. They got to see it. You can't tell them how to feel if they don't see it. The number 3, do not buy a cement pond if it's going to overextend you. I'm not telling you to justify by saying, well, we can monetize this. We can do this. If you're overextended, this is not going to bail you out. This is not going to help you. All this is going to do is make you regret doing it.
Yeah. A lot of times you get more money. You get just as much money for the concrete around the pool than you do for the pool in appraisal. So remember, appraisals are not going to give you anywhere near what the pool is worth, but you're not buying it for a appraisal value. You're buying it for an emotional value and a time for you and your family and friends.
I mean, this is all about your family. It's all about creating a connection with your family, with your friends, with your networks of people that you can't do it at Camino Real. No offense to Camino Real, but it's different to go over there and eat chips and sauce and have margaritas as opposed to sitting around and connecting to your friends or getting them to bring people over. Especially if you work in an industry where networks of people can help you make more money. So let's review this. Is it a good or bad investment?
I think it's a good investment because I'm a family man, and for me, that comes before the appraisal and the dollar value. I would rather lose money on the sale of a house and have more quality time with my family than to make more money on the house. That's my opinion.
Okay, and what we're telling you is if you spend $50,000 on your pool, you're probably going to get, we're saying, let's say 20% back.
Yeah.
You're probably going to get a 10% or $10,000, somewhere in that neighborhood. You know, that appraiser gave it $10,000 or $5,000, but the market may have given more than that.
But let me ask you this. What is the price you can put on looking out your back windows and seeing your kids and their friends laughing and smiling and having a great time, and you know they're safe, and you know they're at your house, and it's just such a good
point.
feeling.
That's a good point, Weatherman, because I'm a big believer in the whole person, the mind, the body, the heart, all that stuff. And I don't believe you can have something not working right and excel in your life. So all these things that you're talking about, there's some intangible value that you can't say, this right here is going to make your life better. Maybe it's kind of like advertising. You don't know why it works. You just know that it's working. And I see Weatherman will send me, I don't know if you've ever been on those Marco Polo apps. Have you ever been on there? Have you ever been on there, Kathleen? Well, he'll send me a little video and he's on his float or he's got his little life. Weatherman might be in his life jacket and he's sitting there having a big time. Me and Cousin Charlie are out working. So, hey, if you're going to get a swimming pool, and if the 3 things I said, be cautious about. If you can afford to do it, if you really are going to commit, here's something else I've learned. If you don't commit to using things, it don't matter. Like I bought that slingshot, and people are always going to say, "Man, you're going to get, you won't use it." Blah blah blah. Man, I love that thing. I've had it over a year.
I like it too.
I've committed to it. You got how many days a week are you in your pool?
I mean, really, I get in about 2 or 3 times, 4 times a week, in this time, and most of it's at night. So it's about every weekend. My wife's in it all the time, and she got a big emoji float. She may be out there floating right now watching the show.
She's over on Instagram Live watching right now, ain't she? So this is just a topic. It's summer. We've sold some houses that have a pool, and it made us come up with this concept. So I think it's very easy to justify to yourself to get a pool. But don't only look at it from a dollars and cents. Look at it from a family connection, as a friend connection, business connection. And if you feel like it's a liability, can you take this liability and turn it into an income producing asset? Every Wednesday we come to you and we do Real Estate 101 right here, John Jones Real Estate, where we're trying to make it, we're trying to educate you into a cool experience. We want to have fun. We want to be funny. We're edutainment at its finest. Thursday nights, straight from the gut with GTT. I like to go back and talk about. I can't remember. I was watching something the other night, and I think what he said is, man, I was really in prison. I was really letting myself down for 35 years.
Yeah.
I didn't succeed the way I could have. So what I like to do is talk back to Tommy at 30. What should I have done? Every Thursday night, please watch the show. It's called Straight from the Gut, and I am very, very transparent. I'm very open. The last few years of my life, I feel like I finally started to move towards my potential, but I'm nowhere near my potential. So having awareness that you're nowhere near close to your potential, but you're striving to get there, I find it very, very, very inspiring. So do we have anything? Charlie, do you have anything? Cousin Charlie's here.
We've got one last question
What was it?
from Brittany Renee.
Brittany Renee.
Can Lucky swim in the pool in Florida?
Lucky can swim in the pool, which hey, Brittany
Right.
Renee, I appreciate you tuning in. We can't do it without you. Hey, have you heard about her new boutique shop, The Exchange? We got to give a plug in for that.
Fascinating place.
Yeah, right there on Spring Street. So if you or anyone that you know are looking to consign, these are boutique labels. She don't take nothing that's below. I think she's looking at like the express type and up. So whatever, Weatherman, your clothes expert, the Exchange. Should have been The Exchange by Brittany Renee, but she didn't want her name in there. That's a good, The Exchange by Brittany Renee. But it's just The Exchange Boutique, Murfreesboro. Thanks everyone for tuning
I have
in.
a question.
We got another one?
You do.
We do.
What is it?
J.R. Eastman wants to know about thoughts on the above ground pools.
I can tell you my thoughts on it. It's probably the most inexpensive way to have a great time with your family. And chances are when you sell the house, there's about a 50% chance that the new buyers want you to take it down.
Yeah, I don't see any value
So
there.
it's about a $5,000 deal to buy one. And, you know, if you can get $5,000 out of it, it's not going to gain you any value. And a lot of times the new buyer will more than likely not want it, or it's not going to help the house sell or not sell.
JR, it would go against one of the things that I don't think I would get much stress relief by looking at an above ground pool. I don't know how much inspiration I'd get from looking at an above ground pool. I might feel relaxed whenever I got in it, but man, I love to see a pool that's landscaped, that looks good. I get very inspired. I start thinking bigger. I start challenging myself to do more. So if I had that pool, if me and Brittany Renee ever have a pool, I do think it would challenge me to go out and probably, it may be something I need to do to help me get uncomfortable to push to more of my potential. So hey, unless we got any more questions, we can go ahead and shut this rascal down.